Hey, what's up everybody? So, I'm going to be showing you how to replace the thermal compound on your graphics card if you so desire to do so, because, I mean, sometimes when you buy a graphics card they come with too much thermal compound and that does more harm than good for heat dissipation and stuff like that. And other times you just feel like you have a better thermal compound on hand, so yeah. The reason I'm doing this particular video is because, I've searched on YouTube too, and, I haven't seen anybody doing it with, like, a near-end, graphics card, like a GTX, what I have is a GTX 560 Ti, or a newer-end card. I've noticed a lot of ones with the GT 880 and 8800 series ones, those are the really old ones. They have a much smaller die. The GTX series has a pretty big die. It's about, focus, there we go, that big. And yeah, so I'll be doing that, and I'll show you a step-by-step procedure of what to do. So the first thing you're going to want is a clear workspace, which I have here. And second thing you'll want is tools, and in particular you will want your graphics card, which is currently in my computer. So, oh, and the thing is, if you have the graphics card, you might want to run it for a few minutes, or maybe like 10-15 minutes, to warm up the thermal compound, so that it's easier to take off. Sometimes if it's cold, it's going to be very difficult to take off. So yeah, have it running in the computer for a little while. Other than that, you will need Q-tips for detailed cleaning. Preferably you want coffee cleaner, but all I have is napkins and stuff like that, so they work just as fine. They're lint-free too, so a bunch of napkins. You're going to need a lot. This GPU die is quite large, so you will need a lot of cleaner to get off the existing thermal compound. You will also need a replacement thermal compound. In this case, I have Arctic Silver 5, which I will probably be using, but if you don't have it, you could always use the thermal compound that came with your CPU heatsink if you bought an aftermarket. I have a Cooler Master one too, and it's not really focusing. I'm not sure what the OEM on this one is, but it's a pretty good one. It's not as good as this, I don't think. So I'll be using an Arctic Silver 5 for this scenario. And if you want extra precaution against electrostatic discharge, which could fry your GPU, you may want one of these doodads. You'll connect it to your computer, and you'll be pretty safe from doing that. I haven't destroyed anything from electrostatic discharge yet, so yeah, it's a matter of preference really if you want that or not. So let's get on with it. Alright, so moving on, you're going to want to power down your computer and disconnect your graphics card like I have done here. Let it cool for a little while because it's going to be a little hot from running. And you want to ground yourself by either using this thing, which I have done here even though I don't really think I need it, I have it just in case, or by touching the power supply unit that you have right there and touching it while it's turned off but plugged into the wall. It'll ground you because the ground wire will take off any static electricity you have on you. Now moving on to the graphics card. This, what I have here, is a GTX 560 Ti. It's a great card. This particular one is by MSI, and I chose it for the sweet looking design, but that's not it. I also chose it for the cooler that it has. It's a very highly rated cooler. The Twin Frozen 2 series. And this is the card that I'm going to be changing the thermal paste off of. This is my own card, so be careful when you're doing this, because if you screw up, you will lose your graphics card, and that will be a very sad day. Another thing you want to check for is, if you don't have my particular card, you'll want to see if these screws here, at least 2 of them will have these little stickers on them. That means that they are under warranty. if you remove the screws while they had the stickers on them, you will void your warranty. So you're going to have to decide if you want to void your warranty and get better thermal performance if you have too much thermal paste, or if you'd rather keep the thermal paste and the warranty as is. The MSI cards don't have that, so I can remove it and still have my warranty, as long as I don't break anything while doing this. So yeah, let's move on to doing this. So, I forgot to mention you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver because all the screws you will be removing is in Phillips. And, I also forgot to mention, you will need a bag. I'll explain why you need this later. Moving on, you will need to remove the 4 screws in a diagonal pattern. If you've ever installed a heatsink on a CPU, you will know that you should screw in the mounting bracket in a diagonal pattern to evenly distribute the tension, or sorry, the pressure that you're going to be applying on the die itself. If you hear a lot of clicking in the video, that's because my camera is autofocusing, so yeah. So you will want to remove the heat... Oh, before you do, as a reminder, you will see a fan header right here. So you're going to probably want to remove that before removing the heatsink. So it's relatively easy, it's not that hard to do, and you may have to wiggle it a little, it's in there quite tight. Don't yank by the cord, you may just yank out a fan header. And there we go, it's disconnected. Put that aside for now, and move on to the screws themselves. You will want to remove them in a diagonal pattern, as I have stated before. Excuse me while I remove the camera a little. There we go. And you may want to do this while you're on a flat surface, so I apologize for moving the camera so much, but this is my first time doing videos like this, and it's a little difficult to do 2 things at once. And yeah, there we go. So remember, diagonal pattern. So if I start with this one, and keep it to like a 1/4 turn of this wrist. And now we will remove the heatsink. You may want to grab it by both sides. Since I have warmed up the GPU already, I'm just going to turn autofocusing off because it's annoying me at the moment. So yeah, since you have already heated up this GPU core, it should be relatively easy. Just shuffle it from side to side. Don't force anything. You break it, you buy it, folks, so don't force anything. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Wiggle, shuffle. And this may take a little... Try not to break anything. Oh, try not to touch this. It's not exactly a good thing. Oh, by this I mean that. So try not to touch that. And this one's going to be a little difficult, just ever so slightly. Oop. There's a bit of a suction effect, so oop, I'm off camera. It's a little difficult, but alright, give me a sec. Alright, so I got it off. It was a little more difficult than I remembered, but it's relatively easy to take off once you get the hang of it, really. So there you have it. Now it's not autofocusing, even though I flipped back to autofocus. Focus, come on camera. Nah, it doesn't want to focus. Oh well. Hang on. Probably can't focus after I press record or something. But anyway, there is your GPU core. It is, in my case, a GF114 core by Nvidia. and you will see there is quite a bit of thermal compound on there already, and just focus that off for you. And I mean, this one is not so bad, but I mean, see, the thing about this particular card that I have right in my hands here is it was an RMA. I returned the original card that I had, which was also obviously a GTX 560 Ti, because it kept locking up under Windows for reasons I couldn't quite diagnose. It could have been the graphics drivers or whatnot, but anyway, long story short, I had it RMA'd, and when I got it back, there was a heck of a lot of thermal paste on here. It looked like they used a caulking gun or something. There was like thermal paste all over this chip. You're not supposed to really get it anywhere else but on the chip. And so I decided to try it and see what I could do, if I could do it properly. I kind of did it, and I mean, I did it kind of okayly, as you can see, but it's not perfect. You're not really supposed to be able to see the GPU die. I put a little too much in the corners, and so you can clearly see there's too much on here and too little in the middle, so it didn't go quite perfectly. So I'm going to do it again after I've read a little bit into how you do it properly. So I am going to move this, and we're back. Now that you're ready to actually clean your GPU, you will need the aforementioned tissues or coffee cleaner, filters, what have you. And another thing I forgot to mention is you will need this. This is rubbing alcohol. You will want something that is above 90%, because it's more pure that way. And yeah, it's pretty easy to clean thermal paste off. It doesn't take that much effort or time, really. Just grab your tissue paper, preferably one. I'd like to fold it so it doesn't tear or whatnot. Put a little bubble there. Whoopsies. Another thing you don't want to do is hit your graphics card, because graphics cards don't like to be hit. And just gently pick up your card. Try not to get the wire snagged on. And you will want to clean it. Alright, so I have cleaned the majority of the thermal paste off the GPU core, and you will see that it's relatively clean. I have a little bit more cleaning to do, like on the sides with the Q-tip and everything. I didn't bother showing it on camera because, one, it's a tediously long process. Well, it's not that long, but it's annoying to do on camera and not do it on camera and then look through the camera lens and everything and yada yada yada. So I just did it off camera because it's easier for me. It's not that hard. I mean, I had this much tissue. I only ended up really using this one tissue. I guess I didn't really need that much, but whatever. You will want to use a Q-tip for the more detailed areas, such as the sides. You will want to get it clean, such as the sides, like here, and over here, and over there, of course. You will want to get it as clean as possible. After that, after you clean your GPU core, you will want, obviously, to clean this. You don't want any of the original thermal paste that you have applied on there, or they have applied on there. You want it clean and squeaky as possible. And then we'll get on to actually reapplying the thermal paste and putting it back into your computer and seeing if it runs properly. Oh, one note about Arctic Silver 5. They have a curing time of about 200 hours, that's what I read. I reckon it's probably going to be less for a graphics card, because graphics cards usually run a lot harder. Excuse me. They run a lot harder than regular CPUs, so bear in mind there's a curing time for Arctic Silver. And it's not recommended to use Arctic Silver on, say, memory modules, such as these. These I don't really need heat sinks for whatever reason. I'm not sure why there aren't any here on these ones, but don't use Arctic Silver 5 on memory modules. This is a highly conductive / capacitive one, thermal paste, so you don't want to be screwing up your memory modules by putting the correct thermal paste on there. I have read elsewhere that Arctic Ceramic, however you pronounce that one, Arctic Silver Ceramic works best for that, so do as you think best, but I suggest not to use this for memory mods, the modules. I will be back after I am fully done cleaning. Alright, so I'm back, and it is clean. As you can see, it's relatively shiny and nice. Nice and shiny. And you will want to make sure you're very thorough with this. Well, actually, you should be thorough with both instances. You should clean these two until you can pretty much shine light off them like this or so. So yeah, be very thorough in this process. You will want as clean as possible. That's when you're going to get the best thermal performance from your heatsink and your thermal compound that you will be applying. In this case, Arctic Silver. So you want to put this aside for now. You won't need it for a while. And then you will want to get your GPU core. You will also want to make sure you don't leave stuff like your rubbing alcohol open where you are prone to knocking it over, which will lead to a very sad day, as I have already stated. You will want to clear your workspace of stuff you don't need, and you will want to put it on here, like so. And it has focused. Next thing we will want to do is, well, while I position myself properly so I can get in on here, I will move you guys so that you also, whoopsies, have a better angle on what I'm doing here. You will want to also do this in a clean room, which my room is not currently, but because you don't want anything to get on your GPU core, because that would suck. Because you spent such a long time cleaning it. I apologize for focusing while I'm on camera, but, well, things have to be done sometimes on the fly. And there we go. I'll let autofocus deal with it from here. Right, so, you have your thermal compound. Right, you have your thermal compound. And now you're ready to put it on here. Your GPU core is relatively clean. Well, you should be really clean, really, and you're going to be doing what I am doing right now. I bought this Arctic Silver technically for my CPU, but I never used it, for reasons I cannot remember now. It's a good thermal compound. It's highly rated. It's not the best. There are better ones, like Icy Diamond 5 or something like that. I can't remember the names, but there are better ones. And you will also want to grab this. This is the plastic bag that I was talking about. Now, when you apply thermal compound onto, say, a CPU, you usually are told to, well, Arctic Silver has specific ones for CPUs, but say you were using the generic old Cooler Master one, if you have a Cooler Master one. You're told to put a dot in the middle and let the heatsinks the weight of the heatsink spread out the dot to properly cover the cores that are in your CPU. This won't work on a GPU. You want this. Well, it works on a CPU, but I found that it didn't work on my GPU. That's what I did originally on this, when I originally applied the thermal paste. That didn't work so well, so I went around and read to see what I should do, and I found that I should put a blob in the middle and use this to spread it out so it's even and very, very thin. Other people like to use credit cards and stuff like that to get a very thin layer. I mean, I'm going to try it here, see if it works, and if it doesn't, I'm just going to be angry. So use some kind of plastic card that you don't really care about, say your student ID card from high school. I'm in high school, by the way. So yeah. You could use this, something like this. I'm not showing my picture. I don't like my face. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. So you can use something like that. I'm going to try with this. So, what you do is you open this on camera, of course, if you're doing this, making a video. And I'm going to have to pause because my camera is overheating. That's, by the way, why I've been cutting so much. Sorry. And back once again because my stupid camera keeps overheating of all things. And as I was saying, you will remove the cap of your thermal paste because that's very necessary. You don't want to leave the cap on. And then you will apply a dot in the very center. About that much should do. And then you will take this off because it's annoying me. You will put a finger in your bag. Come on, camera, focus. Like so. And you will proceed to spread the thermal paste out. You want to do this. Oh, I might have needed more than what I used. Or maybe not. Who knows? Well, this is my first time doing this, so bear with me here. I'm a novice trying to teach other novices how to do something. Something like the blind leading the blind. Kind of funny, really. So, excuse me for taking this off camera, I have to see it properly. And we're back. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You apply a very thin layer over it, making sure you didn't put too much. I'm fairly certain I didn't put too much. I just used a dab, and then spread it out. And yeah. Oh, there. See, overworking this kind of stuff, you will end up undoing some of the work you just spent so much time doing, so. And there you have it. So, once you're done with that, the next step in the procedure is to get rid of this. You'll probably want to throw this bag out, and then reattach your heatsink. Which, to do that, I'm going to have to move my camera, whoopsies, again. Again, I apologize for moving cameras while I'm doing this. And I will have to cut my camera because it is overheating again. Stupid camera. Alright, so really quickly before my camera overheats and shuts down again, put your heatsink, the way I did it was put the heatsink on the bottom, flip your graphics card over, align all the screws, and then put the screws on top, and then use the diagonal pattern to, attach your heatsink back onto your graphics card. Remember, if you're using Arctic Silver 5, it has a 200-hour cooling time, so I would not, curing time, not cooling time. I would not use the graphics card for, like, overclocking needs until that's done. That's just my personal safety measure, so to speak. So, I will screw my graphics card in and out. And my camera will cut out now, so I'll be back after I'm done with this. And so there you have it. I have reattached my heatsink. I have shown you how to do it, well, in passing really. What I did was, again, for explanation's sake, I put the heatsink on the table, I turned my card upside down, put my screws on top, screwed them in diagonally, and now, finally, I am ready to put this card back in. Another thing to note is I would be careful when removing the heatsink to not tear these things out. These are capacitors. I would not want to tear any one of these out, because if you do, one, you will void your warranty, and two, you will brick your, well, not brick your card, you will break your card. So that'll be a bad day. I will just be careful. I nearly did it on this particular one too, but that particular one nearly got torn off, but I noticed in time, and I didn't. So, well, you didn't see that. That one, back there. Yeah, that one. Anyway, yeah. And make sure to connect your fan connector so that your fans, if you have two of them, or even if you have one, that they can work. Another thing that you may want to do while you have your heatsink out, like off your GPU, is maybe to clean it, because if you haven't cleaned it, it might be a good time to clean it. And now, you're ready to put it back in here, which I will do momentarily as soon as I... Ooh, don't drop your graphics card, folks. It's bad for it. Don't do that either, whatever I just did. And you're ready to put it back in here. So what you will do is, my camera's in my way, but considering you will probably not have a camera in your way. Yeah, that always happens, don't worry about it. I would keep on to these screws. These are the screws that you're going to be putting in here to install it. I would pull your case towards you, find the correct graphics card slot. I am only running a single GPU configuration. Whoopsies. Because that's all I had the money for, really. Because dual GPUs is expensive as heck. Line it up properly. Make sure you have nothing in your way. Press in firmly until you hear it click. And then it'll hold it, but I wouldn't leave it like this. I would get your screwdriver, get the screw, come on, focus, and then, not focus out, screw it in so that it's securely in place. Another thing you will want to do after you have actually plugged everything in, plugged your, in my case, two 8-pin connectors in, is to not close up the case. Any computer builder knows that if you close up the case and say, oh, okay, I'm done, you will not have a booting system. Something will go wrong. Call it superstition, but if Paul from Newegg says it, I'm going to follow it. Alright, and now you will see live with me if I have in fact managed to break my graphics card or not. This is nerve-wracking to say the least. I'll get that later. Power is on, and hopefully it booted. Now we'll get a video. Alright, hang on. Alright, it went through post, I think. Oop. Well, it would help if I remembered to connect the HDMI cable on the back. But considering the fan spun up, it should be that I have actually not broken anything. There we go. Well, hey, what do you know? I didn't break anything. And there you have it. That's how you change your thermal compound on a graphics card, so that it hopefully will run cooler and better. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more tech videos later on. I know my channel doesn't usually do tech videos, but from now on I will be. Thank you for your time, and have a nice day.